This is the vlog for July 10th, and it's starting to warm up again, although last night it started raining, and it was raining this morning, actually. I had to go make a run to Target, and while I was there, I've been looking at a lot of like YouTube videos showing off Lego stuff recently, and it reminded me of how much fun I had when I was a kid with the sort of second generation of the space line, where they started having sub brands like Tron and M-Tron and Space Police. And I had collected some space sets before those lines had come about. Lego Space, however, is even older than I am, got started in the 70s. My parents got me a few very early sets, like I think my earliest set is from 82 or 83, which I would have been about 3 years old at the latest, when I got my first Lego set. But that was something that my dad would do. He would come back from a trip, and occasionally he would bring home a little toy as a sort of, sorry, I haven't been around for you growing up. And I cherished those toys, but I cherished having him around more, because it was so much more fun to build something out of Lego and show him what I had done, than just to build, for the sake of building. That was where I was at when I was about 3 years old. But yeah, I really jumped into Lego and was making Lego a big part of my life when I was 9 or 10, 8, 9 or 10, about the same time that Transformers was starting to sort of die off, for lack of a better term. 88, 89, it was going through a rough spot. The toys were getting smaller, but more expensive at times, and my parents were much more interested in getting me Legos because I could take one apart and rebuild them, and they would keep me busier for longer. And so I ended up with quite a few of the M-Tron and the Tron New Generation sets, as well as a couple of the second generation Space Police sets. Never had any of the first generation Space Police. One year, I still remember this vividly, I got two fairly incredible Lego sets. One from my grandparents, who mailed it all the way here. Because, yeah, this would have been like 92 or 93, Christmas of 92 or 93. And then my parents got me this astounding set. So the set my grandparents got me was more sort of what I wanted. It was a big spaceship called the Galactic Mediator. And it was modular. It was 3 different parts. You could pull the front and back off, take out the middle, and then put the front and back together to form a slightly smaller but more dangerous looking ship. The big wings on the rear section opened slightly, and you could remove 2 little jail cells, basically, for criminal space astronauts. And there was a sort of lunar rover in the back cargo bay that you could open up a door, swing down a ramp, and this little vehicle would come out, and it could carry the jail cells. What my parents got me ended up sort of surprising and delighting me, because I hadn't really shown much interest in it. When I was very young, space wasn't the thing that I was the most into. It was the city Legos. I was very much into construction equipment, and my dad got me this little backhoe loader thing that I took apart and put together a million times. At one point, I made this sort of funny robot thing out of 2 scoops that went on 2 different loaders, and I turned them into sort of feet that could walk forward. My dad sort of rewarded that level of ingenuity by getting me this space set that was a walking vehicle, much like the AT-ATs in Star Wars. Um, I want to say it was called like the Alien Moonstalker, something weird. They had very weird names, and a lot of the sets were more identified by their set number than their name, which could change depending on the region that they were released in. I keep missing the point. I got a Lego train set from my parents for that Christmas. It wasn't like a future. It wasn't a monorail. It wasn't a space train. It was a train, but it was a very complex piece of engineering. It had track pieces that you laid out, and then you built the train and flipped the switch, and the train would run along the track. I don't think it was electric, or rather, the tracks weren't electrified because that was seen as sort of dangerous for a kid's toy at that age. So I think it was just motors, probably rubberized wheels to grip whatever plastic or metal they used in the tracks themselves. My throat's getting kind of dry and scratchy, so I need to go have some water after this. But while I was out running errands at Target, I just walked into the Lego aisle, and I saw that they had track on clearance. So marked down from $20 to $13, which is quite a steal when it comes to Lego. They only had one box, otherwise I would have bought two. And then I picked up a big bucket of creator pieces, which are just a random assortment of pieces with a little booklet of very basic sort of designs, one of which was a train. But it made me wonder how compatible that train would be with these tracks. And sure enough, it's technically not. The train that I made in the creator set was just a smidgen too thin to fit properly on the tracks. But if I pull the wheels out slightly, it fits on the track just fine, although it won't be able to go around the turning or curved parts of the track. So you actually have to make this work, you have to pull the wheels out on one side. And that's, the way to do it. And that's sort of frustrating. I went online to see how much the actual train sets that are, designed to be compatible with these tracks cost. They're all several $100s because I think they're out of, I think they've been discontinued, or I know at least one that I looked at has motorized parts in it, so that's going to bump up the price considerably. And it sort of ruins my pipe dream of having a new Lego train. I haven't tried to go and find the old train to see if it's compatible, but I'm almost certain that the track itself won't be compatible, so the new track wouldn't be usable with the old track, and I don't actually have enough track to form a full loop. This is how they get you. Put one box on clearance, and now I have to spend 40 more just to make a track that can form a general loop. But I'm glad that with a little ingenuity I was able to make that train work with the length of track that I do have. The rest of my day was spent playing League of Legends, a game that I haven't had installed on my computer for about 2 or 3 years now. A lot has changed since I last played. A lot of the heroes have had major overhauls, including, oddly enough, Aatrox, which was a hero that came out that I had a lot of fun playing with, and now he plays completely differently and he looks completely different, and I don't really like him that much, which is frustrating because I bought 2 skins for him. I never buy 2 skins very well. The only other hero I can think of that I've bought 2 skins for is Nidalee. It was the first hero that I ever got, and I still really like her. And I think I've actually got 3 skins for her that I picked up just recently, the Super Galaxy skin. The Super Galaxy skins are a range of skins that seem to be inspired by 80s cartoon action, especially robot stuff like Voltron or Transformers. All of the Super Galaxy skins involve, in some capacity, a robot animal. Nidalee turns into a cougar, so her Super Galaxy skin allows her to turn into a robot cougar. Fizz summons a giant robot shark with his ultimate. Annie's bear is a giant robot bear when she uses her alt. So very clever stuff. And I'm gonna seriously consider a couple more Super Galaxy skins for some of the other characters that I really like. Anyway, I just hit the 10-minute mark, so I'm Eric Spornitz, and tomorrow will be better.